What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have a brand new devlog. This one's covering the dungeon generation, and this is part 1. I'm still waiting on part 3 and 4 for the caravan, but whatever. I guess we're gonna skip the caravan and instead go for dungeon generation, but I digress. At any rate, hello everyone. Today's devlog will demonstrate the final version of the reworked dungeon generator and showcase the main principles that governed its development. And I gotta say, this stuff, their pixel art is superb. So beautiful. So we're going to start off with a list of reasons that led them to reevaluate their approach to dungeon generation. Player feedback was received about its current state and revealed the following issues. There isn't much visual variety to speak of. The only difference between dungeons of the same type is what enemies can spawn within, not their layout or overall design. This quickly makes dungeons feel predictable and uninspired. Makes sense, 100%. All dungeons use the same generation algorithm, which limits the room for structural distinction and environmental logic. The overall room structure and the abundance of single tile passages facilitate the funneling of enemies into doorways, trivializing both combat and positioning. Yeah, exactly, because getting surrounded in this game is typically a bad thing. So yes, it's gonna be very difficult to probably traverse dungeons nowadays once they get this update. Let me just see what chat's saying. Hi YouTube. Ayo everyone. Hey Xenophyte, what's up? I'm so excited for the update. I've been waiting or wanting more dungeons / more exciting dungeons, which they will definitely deliver. A shout out to Hope for Tomorrow for this. Oh my god, the eye candy. You gotta shout out Hope for Tomorrow. He's such a the devs in general are such amazing creators here. Did I already read this part? No. Our new approach is based on dungeon tiers. Initially, tiers were an informal term used by players to refer to dungeons based on their difficulty. In RTR, they will actually become an official form of categorization. So instead of using hidden rudimentary mechanics built around levels, this new system splits everything, be it enemies, items, or dungeons, into 5 distinct tiers. Like you guys mentioned, there's going to be tier 5 dungeons from the looks of it. Let's explore what that entails point by point. Different dungeon types will use different generation rules. The structure of crypts will have noticeably different from the structure of bastions or catacombs. Oh, structures of crypts will be different from bastions or catacombs. They're going to be like different types of undead dungeons. That's fantastic, actually. Dungeons will feature varying visuals and room presets depending on their tier. The higher the tier, the more opulent a dungeon will appear, and the greater the diversity of rooms that will be displayed. Tier 4 and Tier 5 dungeons in particular will look especially awe-inspiring. I'm so excited. So, I don't know if this is like the difference of a Tier 1 to a Tier 5, but that looks so good. I love it. What is this? It's going underground? Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, they're doing such a good job. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, it won't go any bigger than that. It's fine. All dungeons will be split into 2 categories, generic and large. The latter consisting of 2 floors. I think that's more or less what they do now, right? Well, not necessarily. There's been some really big 1-floor dungeons, so I don't know how they're gonna categorize that. But all right. 2 categories, generic and large. The latter consisting of 2 floors. We don't have plans to introduce dungeons deeper than that. 3 floors or more would be way too tiresome and draining in most scenarios. I can understand it. The moment you get to like the 3rd floor, you're like, I got a backpack filled. My supplies are out. I got to go back to town just to come back to complete 3 floors. It's a bit much, yeah. The visuals will change depending on how deep you go. Lower crypt floors, for instance, will appear more damaged and use alternating room layouts. The fact that it's like kind of goes underground into like a cave. Look at that. That is definitely the boss enemy. Why is the boss and all these other dudes just chilling? That's a lot of undead. Holy goodness. Rooms with bosses or contract objectives will spawn in dungeons' farthest reaches, with secondary rooms branching off from the path rather than being a part of it, giving you options for additional exploration. Okay. Oh wow, he is in an open room. Oh boy. Oh, that's not good. Just think about when this guy starts to resurrect all the enemies. Oh, I don't want to think about it. That is no, thank you. The updated visuals for dungeons, descents, and ascents will make them easy to spot and separate one from another. Descents will always be a part of the floor, and ascents will be built into dungeon walls just like they are right now. Oh. Fancy. So descents will always be part of the floor, and while ascending is just part of the wall. That's cool. We decided to almost completely do away with the single tile passageways, which should bring additional depth of combat to the combat system and positioning by making group fights more frequent or even inevitable in certain situations. Obviously, this comes with tweaks to most enemy stats, especially the high tier ones. Thank God for that, because if you have to take on 4 to 5 enemies at once and there's nothing you can do about it, that's gonna suck. Okay, I'm glad they're gonna try to level that out a bit. So rather than remaining in the same tile once they spawn or respawn after being cleared, dungeons will be rather than remaining the same once they spawn or respawn after being cleared, dungeons will be generated when you enter them for the first time. Just like the earlier versions of the game, the layout won't change if you save your progress after discovering it, though. Oh, so am I reading that right, chat? Like, it won't change at all? Like, that's gonna be a static dungeon? Every time you pop in there, you'll know the layout? The layout won't change if you save your progress after discovering it, though. This will make dungeon exploration more engaging and unpredictable. I'm so confused. Is it changing or is it not changing? Since the ability to familiarize yourself with the location of the enemies and traps throughout a multiple save load attempts won't be easily available by default. Secret rooms will be generated once per dungeon instead of once per floor. The roster of available secret rooms and their visuals will also depend on the dungeon's tier. Okay, so once per dungeon. I didn't know. I've never found 2 dungeons in a single dungeon. I've never found 2 secret rooms in a single dungeon regardless. So I don't know. I've never experienced that. Even though it's not directly related to the dungeon generator, we also decided to rework the noise and enemy awareness systems, as the old ones didn't work well with the new dungeon layouts. Okay. Now, let's get a closer look at the crypt-specific features. So new crypts will appear as spacious tombs with large hallways connecting separate burial chambers that are protected by stone plates. To access such a chamber, your character will need a crowbar. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. That's cool. The dungeon gets I'm just reading off the chat here. The dungeon gets generated when you enter a dungeon. So if you die and respawn, the dungeon will be different. Oh, well, that's not something I'm going to ever encounter, because if I die, I'm dead. I play on permadeath. So this will be more for the folks that are playing on adventure mode without permadeath. So crypts won't have wooden doors or narrow passages, and their vast halls will demand some clever maneuvering if you want to avoid getting surrounded by the undead. Among other things, crypts visuals will be affected by the dungeon's modifiers. What modifier? Each dungeon type will have its own set of possible complications. For example, wafts of nauseatingly greenish air will signify the presence of miasma. Oh, that's gonna be awful. What are you gonna do there? Like, pop a paregoric? I don't know. Does that help affect the miasma? God dang it. What's the... No! It locked us in place. There's no escape. And then whatever the heck this thing is that to open the door? This is so cool. The varied and unusual objectives of the reworked contract system will also affect dungeon layouts as well. For instance, the Well of Souls will serve as a spawning point for wraiths, and the unholy figurine contract will work quite differently from how it does now. What is this? This is gross. It's gonna spawn a bunch of ghosts on us. We also changed the loot system functions in Crypts and added a number of new items that can't be found anywhere else. And here's a list of some of them. Okay, this is cool. I don't know what half of this stuff does, but this is awesome. I don't know if these are artifacts or just sellable items, but regardless, this is awesome. Holy cow. Miasma, locked doors, freaking wraiths spawning out of nowhere. They did a good job. Visually, it looks awesome. I'm scared to death, though, getting surrounded by all these enemies. But as they mentioned, they're going to be kind of leveling out or balancing the damage the enemies do so we don't die just because we got surrounded. Wow. Wow. Chad says, they really do need to nerf that Paymaster guy. Base 75% stagger chance is just unbearable. So crypts are gonna be harder, but you'll make it rich. They'll make you rich. I think they already do make you pretty rich. Honestly. That's cool. That is so cool. Oh, and Xenophyte. I didn't realize you were a first-time chatter. Call out to Xenophyte, first-time chatter. How's it going? That's cool. That is absolutely amazing. Okay. For those of you watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Share your comments down below because I want to hear them. I'm excited. Y'all gotta be excited. And don't forget to, hit that subscribe button. But take care. Bye.